So here we have a laptop that's come in. I'm about to do initial triage on it. Before I start, I will give it a wipe down with some isopropanol. I usually do a bit better job than that, but for the sake of time, just want to show you that you can spray it on the cloth, on the tissue, kitchen roll in this circumstance, and give it a wipe over. If it is quite dirty, I will give it a proper clean after I've identified that it's worth doing something with. Okay. I've do the same sort of thing with the power supply, give it a wipe over, run the cable through the damp tissue, and the same with the plug. A bit more alcohol. At this point, as I say, it's just about making best efforts to get rid of the virus, and I may do some additional cleaning. Just plug that in. Once I've identified that this machine is worth working with. And the power supply is, of course, on the back. Okay, let's boot it up. So let's power it on. So you can see it says F2 for setup, F12 for boot options. We'll be needing that information once we've checked that things seem okay. So this looks like it's booting Windows 7, and if it basically gets this far, that means the hardware is superficially okay, and the RAM is good, and the power delivery is good. And so I make the assumption that we can't log into this machine, and so at this point I usually just power it down. Okay, we've got Windows 7 Home Premium. So let's power that off. Press and hold the power button for 5 to 10 seconds, and the whole thing will shut down. So let's check that we have a product key. We do. So I would usually write that down at this point, or take a picture of it with my phone, but I'm using my phone to film this. And then I'd start the install process. So I'm going to cut it from power, I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to open it up and have a quick look inside and check the RAM and replace the hard drive. So the first thing to do is to remove the battery. So there are some lock marks on here. So pull that to unlock. This is unlocked on this side. Push the battery out. Place it out of the way. I take my screwdriver. So there's a panel here. Looks like somebody's had it off already and it's not been put back properly, but we should be able to unscrew this. This is quite a nice screwdriver set, just bought from Amazon. I guess it's Chinese, it was only about £15, something like that. It's magnetic, so this one is probably it's a captured nut, so this won't come out, but usually the ones that are deep inside, they come out with the screwdriver. Then just get either your nails or a plastic pick of some description, get underneath there and just carefully lever it away and take that off. And now we can have a look at the memory. So technically, if I was doing this professionally and somebody was paying me to do it, I'd have a anti-static mat and a static wristband, but what I usually do is just grab hold of the metal leg of the table just to make sure I've not built up any static, and then just press those levers outside and the memory pops up, and just pull it in the same direction that it's sitting. And we can see here that that is 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, and in here I'm assuming we have the same, another 4 gigabytes. We do. So now I have a choice here. Do I leave the 8 gigabytes in, or do I take it down to 4 gigabytes? I'd be tempted to leave that at 4 and then have some spare to upgrade something else. Now the challenge here is, how do I get at the hard drive? So fortunately or unfortunately for those watching, this is where we have to dig in a little bit deeper and take this machine apart. And Dells typically require you to lever the keyboard out, disconnect it, and then unscrew all of the screws at the back, lift this whole front piece off, and then you get at the hard drive. So I will do that now. Okay, so I scrolled down in the service manual to how to remove the palm rest assembly, removing the palm rest assembly, and referred to this image on the screen. And as you can see, it requires 6 screws to be removed. These ones up here and the 2, there are 2, as you can see on the screen, there are 2 behind these rubber bungs, but we don't need to touch these. It's just that one, and then these 4 along the bottom. So I've removed all those, and if we scroll further down, this will then tell me to remove the ones on the inside, which I've done already. And I'll just quickly check that we undid all of the, so you can see there are 3 connectors, all shown on there, so it tells you that this lifts up and then the cable pulls out. Okay, so we have covered everything we need. So now this palm rest is loose. So we need to get underneath it and trying to see where the connection, so it looks like the comes out from here. Sometimes there is a small indent to make it easy to get underneath. So just get underneath there, pop that pick in so that it doesn't pop down again. Sorry, my hand is probably in the way. And then plastic clips that are just pressure held in place. So some gentle persuasion. So I just tend to run this plastic pick along here. Try not to go in too far to not catch any cables. Okay, we go. So they just tend to pop up with a bit of gentle persuasion, and then off it comes. So you can see you always disconnect these pieces first, so that you don't accidentally pull them from the motherboard. And here we can see no hard drive. So that would suggest that this has a solid state disk. I'm not entirely sure where it is. This space is where the DVD drive goes. This is the, well, while we've got this open, let's have a look at a couple of things. So this is the wireless card that can be replaced if you're having Wi-Fi problems. If when you first turn the machine on, it beeps at you and says CMOS battery low, press F1 to reset default values, whatever, some sort of message like that. That is the CR2032 battery that will need replacing. That tends to happen on a machine that's more than 8, 9, 10 years old. So that's where it is on this machine. Often it is in the same space as the memory area, so it's much easier to replace. Okay, so this has turned out to be interesting from one perspective, but a bit frustrating from a hard drive perspective on the other, because it's not obvious to me where it is. So that's a SD card reader there. So it looks like it is here. Looks like the hard drive is there, which is where the vent is on the back. So let's have another look at the manual. So I've had a look through the service manual for this Dell Inspiron, and in their infinite wisdom, they have put the hard drive underneath the system board, which is this green thing here. So the instructions on the manual suggest that you take the whole display off first, but a little bit of investigation shows that you don't actually need to do that, except for disconnecting this display cable here. So this just pushes back out of the way. Like that. So apart from this one, this connector down here, which is shown on the diagram, so this needs to pull out as well. So we just lever that out. You see, some of them are a little bit fiddly, but if you just, they slot in that way, so they just need to come out. Sometimes you just have to sort of wiggle them to one side. There we go. Out it comes. And apart from that, I've lost my image. Apart from that, there are just a few screws. So you can see the number shown here. There's 5 of them, and there's an arrow on the board showing you where they go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's just to make sure that you don't inadvertently put screws through any of these holes when you're putting the board back on, because they have screws coming through the main case up into the palm rest. So we've done that, so let's undo these screws and we'll just check. I've been collecting all the screws. All the screws are exactly the same, M2.5 5mm, and these are different. So I'm going to put them to one side. They'll be the first things to go back in. So yeah, these are all much smaller screws. I'll keep them separate. And like I said before, should really be wearing an electrostatic wrist strap connected to a ground, but I'm sitting on a metal table and that should be good enough for now. Okay, so those are all undone, and let's take the board off. So I just had a quick check at some of the previous steps, and the one thing I did miss was here there is an SD card reader. This needs pressing in, and then it releases, and we'll pull that out and just keep that with the screws. But now this board should be loose. So we've done all 4 screws. However, so the plot thickens. It looked like I did have to take this screen off, which I have done. And all that required was disconnecting the cable from the wireless card. So this is the wireless card here, and the white one there has a white arrow, and the black lead goes to where that little black arrow is. And I undid the screws, holding it together while supporting the weight with the screen in 90 degrees. Then I lifted the screen off, comes straight out. You can see there are some locator pins here that go into these 2 holes. But what I'm not sure is whether there is a piece of metal, when this was opened by somebody else, whether there's a piece of metal here, because these plastic lugs here have had excessive stress put on them, and when I lifted the display up, these captive nuts came with the display. So they have broken off here and here. They're brass screws, sorry, brass nuts molded into the plastic, and that plastic has sheared. Now we have nothing to screw this display back into the chassis, and this exerts quite a bit of force when you open and close. So I'm afraid at this point this machine is now no good, and only good for spares. So I will continue to dismantle it so I can get the hard drive out, so we can destroy the hard drive. Then I will put it back together again and put a label on it marked as spare parts. I'll take the RAM out, and I will leave everything else as it is. And then if we get another Dell Inspiron, whatever number this is, in with a damaged screen or something like that, then we have the right pieces. So I'll leave everything together apart from the RAM, and I'll just mark it as spares, and we'll put it on the spreadsheet as a donor machine for spare parts. So I'll put this back together again, and I won't film that, and then I will grab another machine that is maybe easier to demonstrate on, and we'll do a hard drive swap on that. But if we needed to, we take this display off, the hinge cover comes off, there's a few screws on the back. As I suspected, those little rubber bungs were hiding a couple of screws. You undo those, you take that off, and then this system board pulls out this way, because it's all the ports are there. Pulls out this way, you flip it over, unfasten the hard drive, replace it with the solid state drive, make sure it's all connected, and then put the whole thing back together again. But this is the most complex one I have seen to date, and most Dells aren't this hard. So it's a shame that that has broken off, because this is now a wasted machine, but never mind, we'll move on to the next one. So in the end, I didn't need to take the hinge cover off. All that was really holding the motherboard the system board in place was this connector here and this connector here. So just some gentle levering on those two pieces, and the system board came out. It comes out this way. So then I turn it over, and I've unscrewed a couple of screws here, these little screws, and then just grab the back of the hard drive and just put your finger on the connector so that it doesn't move, and pull this out. Right, and then we just unscrew these screws on the side that hold plates in place. That one as well. So these are the 4 screws that hold the hard drive in these rails. So that will be destroyed, so we'll put that to one side. To make sure that if we needed to use this system board in another machine, for example, what I will do is just put all of the screws down in a line. Oh, of course, I dropped one through the hole. If I try and put them in a line here, with the screw piece sitting upright, and then I'll just, if I had a pen, I'm just going to write on here SSD screws, bit of masking tape, and then stick that down over the top, and then squeeze them down. And so the next person coming in here can utilize those. So I'm just trying to work out which way that these went. So this one wasn't fastened to anything. So I'll have to take that down as well. And this one was fastened on here. So I'm just going to screw those back in so they don't get lost. So that one there. And this one here. So these screws are a little fiddly. Let me just loosen that one off a little bit. And screw that one in there. Okay, so now we've got that rail in there, and I can just just so it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so the hard drive's been removed. Let's bring the case back in. Turn this over. Then I'm just going to make sure these ports all slot into the right place. This sits down, so then I'll have to, that just clips in there, and then this one, just make sure I don't lose that cable. This one just plugs in there. Then I'll put it back together again and mark it as spares.